Star Wars Celebration took place in Tokyo over the past weekend, and we talked about the biggest news story, the confirmation of the next movie that is out there on the release schedule, Star Wars Starfighter, the Shawn Levy directed, Ryan Gosling starring film that we don't really know that much about, other than it's going to be set, 5 years after the sequel trilogy. It's going to be a big standalone piece, which is also hilarious in the grand scheme of things, because 2027 is also the year the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, and that film is set to debut a few days before the official 50th anniversary of when A New Hope hit theaters back in 1977. And the big way that you're going to be celebrating all of this stuff is by telling a standalone story that has nothing to do with the Star Wars that George Lucas created back in the cut. Good stuff, Lucasfilm. You really have everybody, and you definitely have Star Wars fans' desires at heart, because you made also a bunch of other announcements there as well, and I'm sure all of those projects are definitely going to go into development, and I'm sure that they're definitely going to see the light of day, just like that Rey movie. It's still in production, right? Yeah, no, exactly. But no, we're going to be getting a whole bunch of animated stuff, because all of that just pops ratings all over the place on every single tracking service, right? Yeah, exactly. Season 3 of Visions. You guys heard of Visions, right? Of course you haven't. But there's going to be sequels to episodes like The Duel, The Village Bride, and The Ninth Jedi. And The Ninth Jedi, I mean, he's so popular, he's getting his own standalone something, anime spinoff. That's so great, because we love the lightsabers and stuff. It's going to be great. But, what about, okay, guess what? Darth Maul. You guys remember Darth Maul. No, he died in episode 1. No, he got brought back by the Dathomiri witches, and he got given a robotic spider lower half, rather. It's so stupid I have a tough time enunciating. Or if you stuck around for the end credit scene in Solo, ain't nobody watched this story. He showed up in a hologram, and he uselessly ignited his lightsaber, because that's what people do in Star Wars now, because it's red. It's red. But hey, Darth Maul animated series ordered by Disney Plus. Stan Witwer returns to voice the villain. I'm sure that's going to be so awesome, because, that little bit of time that Darth Maul was on screen back in 1999, people really like the character based on what they've seen right there. But every single time that he gets dragged out and stupidly squares off against Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he gets his shit pushed in Rebels, that diminishes from the overall impact that the guy had in the proper canon, not Dave Filoni's stupid fanfic that he continues to write and thrust upon the world. But hey, yeah, I'm sure this is going to be great, and I'm sure it's, definitely going to be really awesome, and he's going to do a bunch of Maul things, and he's going to Maul all over the place, and tens of people will watch it. But outside of Mandalorian and Grogu, which, once that trailer goes live, I'll be very interested to, follow up on it, okay, because that was shown at Celebration, but if you just show a frame of it on YouTube, you get your shit absolutely struck down like that, because they haven't officially announced it or released it. I would imagine it's probably coming out on fake Star Wars Day, so yeah, we're probably a couple weeks removed from properly seeing that trailer and getting hype for things that we may or may not remember from Dave Filoni's toy chest and a goofy ass looking Hut with muscles playing the main antagonist. God, that shit looks so dumb, man. It was just, whatever. This is Dave Filoni Star Wars at this point in time. But hey, shout out to what could potentially be the continuation of a great story debuting later tonight, actually. Andor Season 2. I cannot really go on what the establishment has to say about their opinion on the series, because they also gave the likes of, Ahsoka and all that crap, glowing praise. So I hope it's good, okay, because there has not been a lot of good stuff. But hot take, when it comes to big established franchises, the only thing that comes close to Star Wars when it comes to simultaneously putting out the best stuff, Andor Season 1, and hopefully, with Season 2, then you can go ahead and say that. But DC's bungled and confused and not a universe but Matt Reeves spinoff, that's probably the only competitor when it comes to Star Wars for putting out best big budget franchise content. That is so wild to think about, because the MCU hasn't even come close to putting out anything as good as Andor Season 1, and definitely not the Penguin and its companion piece, the Batman, which is not great anyways. Like, it's a mid movie, which is head and shoulders above just about everything that Marvel has put out in the post 2020 era. So while Star Wars is responsible for some of the worst storytelling that you're likely to ever see, they've also been responsible for the best. It's wild to think that this is where we're at, man. It's just general big budget storytelling is so shit recently. This is where we're at. One season for a spin-off show, for a prequel to an interquel story from 2016. That's what we're reduced to for big budget sci-fi. Holy shit. But no, don't worry. We got more hope on the horizon with Ahsoka season 2, which I would imagine we'll probably get something for a release date, okay? Because they're probably waiting until, after Andor. They don't really want to trample on that, but if this was a healthy brand, that they would be continuing to put out, content for people to get excited about. But after Andor, there's nothing on the schedule ahead of Mandalorian and Grogu. There's nothing in the interim there. But you'd have to think that Ahsoka season 2 is probably going in production in a relatively short amount of time. So might see something by the end of the year or at the beginning of next year. Because Mando and Grogu comes out, May of 26. So that's a big old gap in between there. But Ahsoka season 2, Hayden Christensen returning as Anakin Skywalker. Yes, the Hound taking over for the late great Ray Stevenson as Balin's Skull and more. Oh my God, guys, this is going to be so awesome. We're going to be able to remember so many things. It's been a long time since the season 1 finale of Ahsoka. Yeah, what was that? November of 2023? 1 year and 7 months. But 2 teases came out of the Ahsoka panel tonight at Star Wars Celebration Tokyo about season 2, which is going into production next week. So it's possible. It's possible by the end of the year. I would kind of think so. That's probably what they're aiming for. The first Hayden Christensen is coming back as Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, we know Ahsoka has a bunch of those goofy ass audio recordings, or I guess hologram recordings. What did they mention that season 1 rather? There's 20 of those. So yeah, he's going to be a part of a lot of those. But then also as a Force ghost, because it's not like he has anything better to do, right? Like helping his son establish the Jedi Order. No, he doesn't have anything better to do. No, he could just hang around with Ahsoka. That'd be so great and such a great waste of everybody's time. That makes, yes, all the sense in the world. Anakin is a Jedi Master of Ahsoka, right? And the duo have a very complex relationship. And yeah, the Dave Filoni looked forward to really exploring that complex relationship. Yes, and Game of Thrones actor Rory McCann is stepping into the role to play evil Jedi Balin's Skull after the death of Ray Stevenson, where yeah, he can go and do a bunch of goofy ass Mortis shit. God, it's gonna get so fucking dumb. Also, yes, Admiral Ackbar is returning in some of the most eye-rolling shit you are likely to ever see. Admiral Ackbar will return in Ahsoka season 2. He will be going head-to-head with Thrawn. I mean, Mahler, yep. No, how the fuck else are you supposed to take this news? Admiral Ackbar is going to be going head-to-head with Thrawn in Ahsoka season 2. This is Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking what? But don't worry, guys. There's more stuff that you can remember because Kathleen Kennedy, she just can't quit. Lost Creators, a new Star Wars series rumored for more J.J. Abrams people because, as much as, we hate J.J. Abrams, for what he did for Rise of Skywalker, we'll still hire all of his former people to be announced for projects that'll just never fucking show up. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy are reportedly turning once again to the same creative circle that has defined much of the modern franchise storytelling for better or worse. It's all for worse, okay? TFA does not stand up to scrutiny at all whatsoever, and everything after that has just been absolute ass cancer, except for Andor and bits and pieces of Rogue One. Outside of that, it's all slop. It's all tripe. It's terrible stuff. According to industry insider Jeff Snyder, Lost co-creator Carlton Cruise and son Nick Cruise are now rumored to be writing a new Star Wars series for Disney+. Yeah, the people that brought you Lost, a series that was so bad that the writers had to come out and go, yeah, we don't really know what we were doing. It's like, okay, cool. You want to go ahead and give them, this is the same bitch that decided, we should bring on D&D from Game of Thrones. That will work wonders. Plot details remain tightly guarded. Yeah, because it's never going to happen. It's another somewhat announced project, like the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie that's happening and not happening. Who knows? Okay. Rian Johnson's trilogy. Taika Waititi, who, oh, it's just so tough to get him nailed down, but he's still definitely working on something. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi. That's going to be going into production any day now. The Rey movie. Yeah, it's still in production, guys. Don't worry about it. Simon Kinberg. Oh, he's still working on it. Oh, guys, he's still writing that upcoming trilogy. Don't worry about it. If the rumor proves true, this would be the first time Kathleen Kennedy has looked within the J.J. Abrams creative network. She previously brought in Abrams, yes, to direct The Force Awakens and salvage The Rise of Skywalker. She also tapped Lost alumni David Lindelof to co-write the upcoming Star Wars film centered around the character of Rey. But yeah, he was one of the many turfed writers, and a legacy for Kathleen Kennedy to continue to fire people over and over and over again. So yeah, we can continue to just go over all of the stuff that's been announced. And, well, Jennifer Sulky ended up, thankfully, getting turfed for having the same old song and dance over at Amazon. I'm wondering because, well, at least, Star Wars Celebration taking place on April Fools is going to be hilarious. But during the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, yeah, that's the next celebration that's going to be taking place in 2 years' time. How many of those projects are going to see the light of day, and what's ultimately going to happen with the leadership at Lucasfilm? Because at that point in time, you're going to have another Star Wars movie in the theaters. You're going to have a couple, and maybe even more than that, series come out, not counting any of those goofy animated series, because those do absolutely nothing in the ratings, okay? And especially on Disney Plus, nothing ends up popping or rating. So yeah, we'll see what the state of Star Wars looks like, because at this point in time, bro, like, nobody outside of Andor Season 2, nobody has any hope for this series. Nobody looks back fondly on anything that they have done. And as such, you would think that major shakeups would be afoot, but of course not, because you remember those rumors that were out earlier this year that Kathleen Kennedy would be stepping down towards the end of the year. And here I was thinking, especially after that hastily cobbled together Deadline interview where Kathleen said, I ain't fucking leaving. You're going to have to pry movies out of my cold, dead hands. I would kind of think that, yeah, she was big mad because some of her succession plans ended up getting leaked a little bit earlier than she would have liked. So might have had something happen at Star Wars Celebration, to at least pique somebody's interest. But no, we'll just jangle a couple more keys. Oh, don't worry, Anakin's coming back and he can do some Darth Vader things. Fantastic stuff. Oh, and Maul, he's going to be animated. That's great. And we're going to tell a bunch of Vision stories that aren't canon, but you like it because it kind of looks anime. And instead of, bringing along the same type of Japanese storytelling that makes anime really popular, fuck it. We'll just do the same visual style, and that'll just trick enough troglodytes into thinking that Star Wars is so back. Oh my God, this is peak Star Wars. George Lucas's vision is being so respected. But at least George had the wherewithal to cash out when he decided that, he just kind of had enough, okay? He told the story that he wanted to, and instead of compromising for better or for worse, he just signed on the dotted line, punched out, and has just lived in retirement the best way that he knows how. But Kathleen Kennedy, still out there seeking that last final W. Kathleen Kennedy doubles down. I'm not retired. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not fucking leaving. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, 71, announced that she has no plans to leave Lucasfilm anytime soon. So yeah, here it was once again just simply wishful thinking that maybe she would have a little bit of common sense, a little bit of hubris to say, here at Celebration, we have so many things that are in production, and my time at Lucasfilm has been so great, and here's what we're going to be doing at the end of the year, and announcing something to get excited in the realm of the future for Star Wars. But nope, instead she does exactly the opposite. Kathleen Kennedy informed Collider, I'm not retired, I'm not going anywhere. The comments come in the wake of rumors back at the end of February that she would be exiting the company, that she would later go on to confirm with that interview, because yeah, Matthew Bologna said, after years of speculation and polite urging of observers like me, Kathleen Kennedy has informed Disney as well as friends and associates that she will exit Lucasfilm presidency by the end of the year, per 3 different sources, and then came out and said, no, there's a succession plan, I ain't leaving. But here's the thing, what's the succession plan? It would all just lead back to this rainbow F slur and a stupid ass felt cowboy hat. Like, fantastic stuff. Nothing is ultimately going to change, and everything is going to be fucking cringe. And that's why I hope that Andor Season 2 is good. I'd like to see something new come out that's actually decent and worth everybody's time. But outside of that, we know that that is going to be a completed series, and that's going to be a complete story. And even if it does do gangbusters in the ratings, even if it does prove to be the most successful thing on Disney Plus, what exactly does that mean? And because Tony Gilroy takes his craft seriously and he looks around at the rest of this haggard storytelling, would he even want to return? It's a sad state of affairs for major franchises that's out there, and oh, don't worry. As bad as things have been in 2025, we haven't even begun to see how awful things are going to get, because July's coming around and, well, the slop is about to flow like a river. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.